Be good to your servants while we live, that we may obey your word. Open our eyes, that we may see wonderful things in your law. We are strangers on earth. Do not hide your commands from us. Our souls are consumed with longing for your laws at all times. You rebuke the arrogant who are accursed, those who stray from your commands, and remove us from their scorn and contempt, for we keep your statutes. Though rulers sit together and slander us, your servant will meditate on your decrees. Your statutes are our delight. They are our counselors. So the definition of this word mean lifting up. Be good to your servants while we live. We are God's servants. And it says, be good to your servants while I live. Basically is saying for us to be good to each other. That starts off pretty strong. Be good to your servants while I live, that I may obey your word. Open my eyes, that I may see. So if my eyes were closed before, open them so I'll see the wonderful things in your law. We're strangers on earth. We could sometimes feel like we don't belong here because we can't figure life out, and comes down here to my soul is consumed with longing. I'm sure we can all relate to intense longing. My soul is consumed with longing for your laws at all time. And so God's laws are the opposite of intense longing, the kind of longing that isn't so good. And because it says you rebuke the arrogant who are accursed, and accursed really means self-destruction. And then over here it says remove me from their scorn and contempt, but I'm matching intense desire, self-destruction, and scorn and contempt with the belief in ourselves as being worthless, which isn't true, and God says it's not true. It says, for I keep your statutes, and your statutes really means God's word. And so all these things are technically untrue, and that's what it's saying here, that all the opposite of these things are God's word. If we're feeling these things, and Gimel means lifting up, and we're talking about be good to your servants while I live, we're definitely going to come across these things in the people that we come across. If we know these things are not true, I think that God's telling us to just lift people up as we are moving through our lives. Your servant will meditate on your disputes. And like I said yesterday, the disputes God has with the people in the Bible, God's stories that have different meanings. And as we meditate on those, as we remember those, your statutes are my delight. So God's words are my safety and joy. They are my counselors. When we think of counselors, we think of going to somebody for our problems, but your words are the answer to my emotional matters, intense desire, self-destruction, and thoughts of belief that we're worthless, which is so untrue.